This is We All Be, news-free Dixie for the 21st century. See how it works? Somewhere. Can you dig it?
Hey y'all. Yeah, Brother Ron in here. There he Hey, the King Hills. Hey. Hey, Mrs. Let's see. Let me play it. Let me see. Yeah, brother. There we go. So Ron should be here in a moment. Yeah, he should be here in a moment. Hey y'all. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Do I see him? Let's see. Oh, hi. Well, for some reason, he's not able to join. Let me try it again. I'm going to, Brother Ron, if you can hear me, I'm going to send you an invitation. So no worries. Let's see. Make sure you're joining from your phone, though. I found out the hard way you cannot join from your computer. Let's see if that works. Frank, hey, bro. Hey, get you on here. Hey, Ari. Oh, my niece is here, y'all. That's what's up. Hope this works. Can y'all hear me okay? Am I too low? I don't know what's happening with Brother Ron. This is weird. Let's see. R2. Oh, let's see. I'll message him real quick. Hey, babe. I love those hearts. Yeah, I'm gonna WhatsApp him real quick. Let's see. Hey, Brother Ron. Maybe I'm gonna let you go ahead and try to join me. There we go.
All right, okay, cool. Hey,
How you doing, bro? You know what? Let me let this up a little bit. It looked like it's cutting off my head. Give me 1 second. Get my situation together. How you feeling?
I'm good. About you? How you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I got confused. This is the last day of Mercury retrograde, so I saw that you said the Google Meet link, so I was on the Google Meet thing, and I said, okay, let me try the.
I'm like, yeah, it's getting this last look. I ain't even mad at it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let you do what you do. We just gonna be easy and breathe with this tech. Man, you know it's so funny. I was like, I was supposed to go to the gym and I didn't, but I got dressed for the gym. And then I was like, oh, I should get dressed for the live. And I realized what I had on. And I was like, I'm not changing. That's where I met Brother Ron, at the Wash U. At the Wash U, y'all.
The Wash, yeah, the Wash.
At the Wash. So I left this on as a salute to the place that our souls met for the first time in this 3D. I have been grateful the entire ride, but like, whoa, to still be attached to you as an adult. And then that conversation we had, that fellowship we had the other morning, brother, you bad, man.
And likewise, we're mirrors of each other, so it's always awesome to find, like, I guess Soul Tribe, people call it Soul Tribe now. Find your people wherever they may be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So this is what I was thinking. Tell me if you're good with it. For the folks on who don't already know you, because I see some folks in here that I know already know you, so that made me excited. For the folks For the folks who don't, I want to read a bit of your bio, if that's okay. And then we'll just go into the two questions that I ask everybody and just kind of let Spirit do what it do.
That's right.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah. I just
Yeah, you know,
snap your fingers.
the
Snap your
ancestors is
fingers.
already sitting front and center. I was like, oh, y'all know who I'm talking to today, right? Come through. My mama came like, all right, so Brother Ron, there's so much that I can say about you.
Okay.
Brother Ron is the founder and chief executive archivist of the We All Be Group Incorporated, a non-profit organization dedicated to celebrating Memphis's rich cultural heritage from an African American perspective and promoting educational empowerment through knowledge of self enrichment projects. Among his projects are the National Fort Pillow Massacre Wreath Laying Ceremony and the Jimmy Lunsford, I'm sorry, I jibbled my words, the Jimmy Lunsford Jamboree Festival. He's also known for his thought-provoking interviews on the popular YouTube channel We All Be TV, where he's engaged with iconoclastic figures like Baba Dick Gregory and Judge Joe Brown. Brother Ron is a talented visual artist. You can explore his work at www.r2c2h2.com. And if that's not enough, he's a skilled trumpet and cornet player.
Okay.
Brother Ron is a proud alumnus of Shelby County Schools and their creative and performing arts program at Overton High School. He's also a graduate of Washington University in St. Louis with a BFA degree and an alum of Worcest's John B. Irvin Scholars Program. Notably, Brother Ron holds an MBA from Bethel University that he got acquired in 2009. So excited to have you. There's so much I could say more in terms of just like who you are in the world and your accolades, but I'm going to just bring you in and let the people see a little bit for themselves. My brother, Ron O'Hurd.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Stephanie. I appreciate it. It's like, I praise stuff for you. I appreciate it. I can't believe it's been, it's been over 20 years. It's been a generation. A lot of stuff has happened in 20 plus years.
Man. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So then it's perfect. Then it'll lead us into both of our questions, essentially, like with a lot of stuff that has occurred in the 20 and then like in the micro of the last few. And then as we were talking, our own personal like transitions and transformation stories. When I brought this to you and I said, hey, I had this idea and I've been running this series and like it's just kind of doing what it does. So I'm listening to Spirit and going with it. And then I asked you if you wanted to hop on with me. Why did you say yes?
Why did I say yes?
Yeah.
Because
why did that drop in your yes box?
I know this seemed like a natural thing to do. Like I'm manifesting a different reality. Like I really do feel like I died. The run that people thought they knew died the first day of summer. I had an experience that really woke me up. It was very painful to think about, but I realized that I was not living my truest, authentic self. For a long, long time, I thought I was, but I wasn't. But it wasn't that I was a fraud and I was lying. I just didn't know any better. I didn't know who I was.
You were on the programming.
From the programming, right. How we be indoctrinated. Because I really do believe that we choose to come down here for a mission. And along the way, we forget about that mission because we be indoctrinated by people we think mean us well, or they think they mean us well, or they can mean us harm. But we've been, our third eye kind of been put to sleep. Nah, it go bye-bye or rock-a-bye, whatever. And so like it took me realizing that I kept on doing the same things and getting the same result. Now people call that insanity. I actually call it you expect different results, right? You do the same thing and expect different results. Right. Some people call it insanity. I call it practice on certain things. It's all about context.
Ooh, and baby, that word. You see, I call it practice. I had a conversation with a sister earlier today, and practice came up, and not that easy stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Because things, there's a difference between something being simple and something being easy, right? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Simple and easy, two different meanings and two different connotations. But it's like life can be it could be simple. You think about it, but it's not always easy. But sometimes we get in our own way. I
Ooh,
realized that I've been doing a lot of
oftentimes.
self-sabotaging. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of
Yeah.
self-sabotaging. So I too, like, you know, your thing is about what? Transitions and transformations, right? So I said I
Absolutely.
died, this brother Ron died, this death, this spiritual whatever death, I had to die. And
The
now I'm in the
first day of
process.
summer.
Yeah, the first day of summer, it was like an incident, and it was like literally a punch to the face a couple times.
Ooh.
About several punches to the face. It wasn't that bad, but I thought about it. I said, "Man, let me try something that I kind of ran away from 20 years ago." It was called therapy, you know. And you know, there's a lot of taboo, especially in the African, so-called African American Black community, about seeking therapy. And people, I mean, I was on an elevator the other day at my day job, whatever, and this security guy, I was talking like, "How you doing?" And he said, "I can't complain." And I told him, I said, "I can't complain. That's why I got a therapist." He said, "Oh, you talk about God and Jesus?" I said, "No, the one I pay. I pay. Well, I got my wife. She's my therapist." Okay. You still ain't
Okay.
hearing me though, but that's
But see,
cool.
life
You know what I'm saying?
no, that's
I'm
not the
paying
kind I'm
for
talking
everybody here
about.
my problems. And the thing about it is, it's not about a pity party. I think people get
Right.
me wrong. It's about you doing a critical reassessment or assessing what went wrong or why do you do the things you do. Like what motivates you to do the things or be stuck in a certain cycle. So I really
Mm-hmm.
had to examine myself and be honest with the process. It's not about you feeling sorry about yourself or being. It's more about you. Like I said, you accessing things. You really taking a time out on business as usual, and you looking and you actually got to really dig deep, and you realize that you have repressed so much
Mm.
over the years just to fit in to
Right.
everybody else's expectations or projections. So
Right.
I'll leave it there, but like, you know, it's been a interesting ride this summer, just going through that, and I had a chance to talk to my inner child. This stuff is real. I know people like, you talk to your inner child. I thought it
Yes,
was like some baloney, but
absolutely.
then I actually did it. It's like, whoa. And it's like they said, we've been waiting to have a conversation with you like 20 plus years, Ron. What's going on,
Brother,
man? You out, you know, you out of pocket. We've been trying to tell you that for 20 plus years. Go ahead.
brother. I just want to take a pause and just wrap you in a whole lot of
I
love
think I'll receive it.
and
Yeah.
salute you for being on this part of the journey, because we're not talking about that stuff that's for the faint of heart, you
Yeah.
know. I would love to unpack it through the conversation. I'm going to do the formality of asking the prompt, because I do
Yeah.
believe in the and asking and allowing you to sit deep in your spirit
Hmm.
and see what comes up. And then we go
Okay.
with that. I also am very clear that we're going to be unpacking what you've already raised
Yeah.
throughout that. Are you ready for
Uh,
this ride?
it's not about being ready. Just do it, man.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it,
it. Life is about
baby. I heard that. Let's go, bro.
it.
All right, so go ahead. If you can, go ahead, put your feet on the floor, both of
Yeah.
them, if you can, if they're not already. Maybe go ahead, roll your shoulders back a few times. Let's
Okay.
loosen it up a little bit. And depending on how you feel, go ahead, take your palms, roll them together for me for a minute, and just
Money
kiss them.
coming. Money coming. Keep me
Yeah,
steady.
thank you. Kiss them a little bit, put a little tenderness on it. And if you feel like you need to ground a little bit, you can go ahead and take your palms, place them facing downwards, and then put them on your thighs. If you feel like you need a little lift,
Yeah.
maybe go ahead and raise them upwards to receive and to raise. If you feel like maybe I need a little bit of both of those, go ahead and do one up, one down. How you
Okay.
feel?
I like this.
All right. Now that we're there, just decide if you'd like to maybe close your
Okay.
eyes or do a fade, sort of like phase out, or there we go.
Yeah.
And I just want you to take a few breaths in your own pace. And then in a moment, we're going to take one really big, deep breath in and just push it all out.
That feel good. That feels excellent.
Yeah, make some space. Make
Yeah.
some space for your inner child, because we invite your inner child to this conversation. Under the care, guidance, tutelage, and love of your higher self, you're fine. But come to this conversation with us. And when I ask you this prompt, just lean into your innermost self, your most authentic self, your truest self, and start to talk from there. What do you have on transitions and transformation?
You gotta push your limits. You gotta step outside your comfort zone. You really gotta be honest. The most honest you ever been in your whole life. And it starts with you. The most important relationship you will ever have is with with yourself. You know, me and myself and I. Is about forgiveness of yourself, forgiving yourself. I never forgave myself. I realized I have, in my 43 years of existence till this summer, started the process of actually forgiving myself and showing yourself grace. Yeah.
And showing yourself grace. Like that concept even.
Yeah.
To introduce that to your psyche, because that's not a part of the conditioning, to be clear. That's not the program.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So to conceptualize it and then allow yourself, or essentially give yourself permission to forgive yourself and then give yourself grace. Talk more about that.
Well, you know, you realize, like, I always used to joke around. I said, the devil ain't qualified to give you mercy. People are, oh, mercy. You know, I said, the devil only be qualified to give you more hell. And to actually give yourself mercy or grace is to realize that you are God, that you are a God. You got God energy. You got divine strength and energy. And well, people don't realize that when you allow yourself to receive that, you must also accept your vulnerability. And your vulnerability is actually your strength. It's the strongest thing you got. Your vulnerability. It's not a weakness. It's your superpower, right?
Yeah.
It's not a weakness at all.
So, in terms of, and you can connect this however it connects, but I'm thinking back to what you said about dying on the first day of summer, like the old Ron, this idea of there was a Ron functioning for however many decades, and then he had a death, and from that, I am figuring out anew who I am. I am sure vulnerability has a huge role in that. But talk to us about that process. One, like, how did you, like, it just happened to you? Were you calling this into your life? Were you praying? Like, what was going on? What were these? And then what role did vulnerability and this leaning into this new part of you? How has it carried you through?
That's great. Those great questions. There's a lot to unpack. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. I mean, just having you're getting older, and the choices you make starting to catch up to you. The longer you live, the choices you made earlier you start paying for the consequences of the choices you make. You know, whether good and bad is subjective, whatever you want to take it. Like, things start coming to pass in different seasons, and then other challenges that your parents, as best they could not prepare you for, because they have their own stuff that they probably need to unpack and may never unpack. Going through challenges and really questioning your existence, really dealing with self-doubt, really dealing with disappointment in yourself, and people assuming that you're upset with them. But sometimes you tend to project things that about you upset with yourself. Sometimes it's hard to articulate
that part. Upset with yourself.
Upset with yourself. And like my faith has grown. I don't go to church. I believe in spirituality. I talk with the ancestor stars. I call them the righteous ancestor stars all day, every day. And I know some of them by name. I don't know all of them, but some, the thing about it is that it's got that saying, right? Sometimes rejection is God's protection. Yeah.
Woo, brother, if you're not speaking my whole conversation this morning. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Well, like, there's health challenges and dealing with that. Like, I'm actually, like, it's funny how you can manifest sickness. Like, okay, Tupac. I love Tupac. To me, he's like the Shakespeare hip hop. No, yesterday was the 27th anniversary of his
Okay.
untimely demise, but he knew the timing. But the thing about Tupac is that he manifests things into existence. Your words create worlds, right? Like you speak on death, you talk about dying young and short. He manifests that. Or Biggie. I always tell Biggie what was Notorious B.I.G.'s first album. It was called, what was the title? It was Ready to Die, right? Second
Yeah.
album, was what? Life After Death,
Yeah.
ready to come out after he was dead.
Yeah.
So like with us as so-called black people, we are the chosen
Power
one,
of the song.
and we got power. We can't be like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino and be 80-something years old and play gangsters and stuff, because what we put out there is not play. This is life and death. What's it? The power of life and death
In
resides in
the
the tongue.
time.
So we are
Yeah.
gifted people to be able to communicate things, but at the same time, we have been programmed to self-sabotage ourselves. Like, NBA Youngboy. I like NBA Youngboy. I think he's a great talent. But the thing about it, he realized himself that I've been chosen to incite violence among young people with my music. I'm speaking words to manifest violence among people. And he knows that, but yet he still does. He acknowledged that. Hey, they utilize me to undermine people.
Hopefully, step one. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a road, but maybe. But yeah, but like to me, like I was speaking death on me because I kept on doubting myself. I kept on like not forgiving myself. So I've been speaking death on me for a long time. And when I thought I was helping people, I was really hurting myself because I was pouring from a cup with a hole in the bottom. And instead of people getting my overflow, they'll get my essence, and they need all types of levels sick. Now I'm reversing it. I'm practicing self-love now and healing, and now it's reversing my physical sickness.
So a few things there, like there's so much to unpack, but one thing that stuck with me was that part about you are the way that you are giving. You thinking you're helping, but like really you're not, and you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
But the idea that you were giving not from your overflow, point one, two, but from your essence. So you weren't tending to it, but you were ciphering it out, not replenishing it, and not realizing it. It sounds like so you made a shift. Can you talk about one, like how you made the shift? I know you started going to therapy, right?
Yeah.
Talk about how you made the shift, and then like what self-love is, because self-love has become trite and all over the internet and all over the waves, and kind of like pushed off as this fluffy thing, get your manny and your petty. That's not what we're talking about. Anything's wrong with those things, like yes, but self-love, what is that for you? And how are you orienting yourself now in alignment with that, so that it's not essence, but it is overflow when you give?
That's excellent. Basically, you're just putting yourself first, making yourself a priority. Self-preservation is the number one law of nature. Like when you're on an airplane, what they tell you to do, they instruct you to
put your oxygen mask on
right before you help anybody else. So I would allow myself to breathe for decades. I would not allow myself to breathe and breathe in and breathe out who I really was. And to me, self-love is all about taking the time to get to know yourself, to be your best advocate, your best friend. Because if that person in the mirror is staring back at you, you don't know who that person is, then you have no friends. Friends change like the weather, fair weather friends, all that stuff. But to really be an advocate for your needs, not to sacrifice your needs for other people's wants. See, I realized
not to sacrifice your needs for other people's wants.
Right.
It.
Put your needs first.
And
wants, whatever. They don't make a difference. But like what I learned is that I have a love addiction problem. And I mean love, I mean like, attachment issues. Right? I'm probably an anxious attachment style. That's why I figure out anxious attachment style.
Okay.
I'm a chronic people pleaser. That hurt me, trying to please people that can't please themselves or not happy with themselves. You can't give nobody happiness.
You absolutely cannot. That's our own responsibility.
Nobody can be responsible. Your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad. Nobody. You are responsible for your happiness. Nobody else. You got to choose to have happiness, regardless of what's going on in the world outside of you, and not focusing. Self-love means focusing mostly on the things I can control. I
Mm.
can't control what people think about me, how they view me, but I can control how I view and think about myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do you, have you, I mean, to what degree did you care what other people thought prior to this death and where you are now, right? And how difficult or not difficult is that? Because yes, and like I completely agree. And I'm thinking about our folks, like the whole reason I'm doing this series is that we're standing in the gap for one another, sharing our stories of transition in order to help one another navigate it too. So for the folks that maybe are like, yeah, I hear you, bro, but like, how do you go from being a chronic pleaser? And because that's not for no reason. There's deep-seated repression and things that are going on in ways in which we're trying to be valued or be worthy. Like, there's all this stuff going on with that. How does one go from that to being like, I'm prioritizing myself? Like, I know for me, the first thing I had to do was start giving myself permission, and it wasn't once. Like, it's a daily practice. I give myself permission to prioritize my life. I say that every morning. I give myself permission. So, can you talk to us a bit about that, especially for people who are like, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know how, bro?
I mean, it's quite simple. This is the simplest thing. Just say no.
Just
start
say
saying no.
no. Just say no.
Not just the drugs, but say no to a lot of things that people.
Period.
Say no. Yeah.
Period.
Because no is mean no to others is yes to you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing lately, and it feels great. First, like I had a hard time saying no to people a lot, but
you did
when you realize
it or you did not.
Yeah, once I was sacrificing my life for people's just in pleasure. Not really needs, but this wants and this pettiness. I said enough of this.
Yeah, enough of this.
Enough of giving pearls before swine. Yeah, enough of that. Yeah, and it feels good. And like setting boundaries by saying no, and by really making your time a priority above other people. And not it's not that you being selfish, it's self-preservation. It's about how can I give to you if I'm not here to give? If I'm not here physically to give to you, how can I give? That means I got to take better care of me. I got to consider myself precious cargo.
Right. And I think that's it. Like, and that's a part of the reprogramming. And so I'm so appreciative of you of talking about it and talking through it, because this is coming up in almost every live, no matter what people are doing, not doing, where they're at in the world. This is another one of the things that keeps coming up. And I think that perhaps in our way, this is maybe helping change that algorithm, that is not the programming that we should be functioning on. And it is not, it's not serving actually anyone, because it's also modeling doing that very thing. So those coming up after us learning that, so no, let's interrupt that shit. Excuse my mouth.
No, it's your platform. You speak what you want to speak. No,
I am so off. I am so sad because we're at 3:30 already. How did we get here that fast? Okay, so obviously, just like with everybody else, this is part one. So we're going to have more conversations. God, I'm so okay. All right. So this is the deal. Since I have to let you go right now, I'm going to invite you to the round table. I'm not sure of the date yet. I'm going to send y'all tomorrow. I'm going to send like some options so people can weigh in on the times. And then I want to just get as many people as possible to the space. So whatever that number ends up being, that'll be the date, and I'll send it out. And the intention is instead of my normal monthly Breathe events, it will be a round table with y'all. And that will be the Breathe.
Yeah, I say yes to that.
Thanks, bro. And I'm gonna see you in a few weeks, right? I'll see you at WashU. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to that. Give you a big hug. Man, I'm proud of you. Keep going, one foot in front of the next. Keep giving yourself that grace and forgiveness and permission. The year you started signing your own permission slips, I started a poem like that. I'm gonna send it to you.
I appreciate it. I look forward. And I always leave people with this thing that's helped me, like, using words of affirmation. Like you said, you use a mantra or mantras in the morning. This thing called like the Ho'oponopono Say
Yes,
something like that.
yes,
Ho'oponopono.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, 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 yes,
Ho'oponopono.
yes, yes.
You know it.
Do you
Yeah.
have a link to it? Maybe I'll
Yeah.
drop that in there. I'll look
It's
for
out
it.
there, but I say this every morning before I go to work, whatever. When I get up, it's like, it's like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Sometimes I
Yeah.
sing it to myself, but I say it to my inner child. But it could
Can you
be for a lot of things.
say
You
it
have to
once
manifest.
more for us?
Yeah, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you.
I'm
Like I
sorry. Please.
am sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I sing it to my inner child, different phases of my life. And also I sing it for other people. Because there was a guy, there was a psychiatrist up in Hawaii. You know about the
Uh-huh.
story, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he had the case files of all these criminally insane
People.
people. And his thing was he never met them. He just
Mm-hmm.
started saying that over and over again. And all of them were able to get healed over time.
Yep. And I think I love just like because you mentioned earlier talking about the power of the tongue, right?
Yeah.
And then adding to that the musical element in particular, raising that the literally the
Yeah.
vibration and the power of said words. So
Yeah.
I love that you sing it. Thank you, Ron.
Well, thank you, Queen Steph. I appreciate you and all the stuff you have done and are going to do. And the words of the skeleton, we love you
We
madly.
we
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love you,
we out
madly,
there.
brother.
We all be in it. We all
We
be
out
in
here on
it.
assignment. We on assignment. We on assignment.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
salute you. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm sending you off with all of the just the covering
Yeah.
you need to keep on this journey and this work. I'll talk to you soon. I love
Okay.
you.
Love you too.
Later.
Later. Right.
Yeah, to a little bit later.
Yeah,
Thanks, family. Thanks for
definitely.
joining us. I'll see y'all soon.
Excellent. One love.
Later.
Yeah.
One love.
Greetings, family. This is your brother, Brother Ron, requesting your help to help save We All Be. The feeder needs you all to feed We All Be. We All Be has been under attack due to heavy censorship tactics on social media. They're trying to shut us down, but we won't give up, give in, or give out without a fight, because we all be in it to win it. Please think about donating to the cause. You can try our Venmo, our Cash App, our PayPal options. You can support us through Patreon, patreon.com/weallbe. You can buy Artivist Art, r2c2h2.com. You can wear Artivist Art. Go to our Teespring, r2c2h2's place. We all be in it to win it. Know that the best is yet to come. And thank you all for your continued support. We love you madly. And please also remember, family, if you want to keep up with all things We All Be, please join our mail list. You can email yours truly, Brother Ron, at weallbe@gmail.com. Once again, that's weallbe@gmail.com to keep up with what's going on with We All Be. Remember, information is power, and knowledge is the currency of the universe. But please, feed We All Be so that the feeder can keep on feeding the people. One love. Can you dig it? I sure can. Amplify blessings, amplify blessings, amplify blessings, and thank you. See how it works? Somewhere. And please remember and never forget that we love you.